Hello darlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Mariam and I thank you so much for watching. So today, as you guys see in the title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys all you need to know to get the best ever Flexi Rod set on your 4C natural hair, or I mean any 4 type hair for this matter, but I know with 4C hair it's a bit more challenging sometimes to get those popping curls when we do our rod set. So yeah, I made the mistake, as you guys will see in this video, that I had some challenges getting the curls to look beautiful at the end. But yeah, I learned from them and I'm going to share with you guys what you need to do to get the best set and what you should avoid doing. So as you guys see, I started out with freshly shampooed hair and then I went in with this Lotta body moisturizer. I'll be putting everything in the description box for you guys. And then now I took some of this Lotta body foam, this Lotta body mousse. I use it on my hair and you guys see the big chunky amount that I'm putting on my hair. I don't know if you guys noticed my facial expression as I started applying this mousse to my hair. I felt it on my hair that it was not going to turn out good, but I kept going. So first thing, rule number 1 that you need to avoid is avoid putting so much mousse on the hair. It will not do your hair any good, trust me. So now I'm going again and I'm making sure that my hair is properly detangled with the brush, and then I am just applying some more of that moisturizer, and then I put a little bit of the mousse on my hair and then I start to wrap it around the rod. So first thing I want to tell you guys not to do when you're going to do a Flexi Rod set like this on your natural hair, and this is particularly if you do not have a hooded dryer. If you won't be going under a hooded dryer, you do not want to do it on extremely wet hair. So as you guys can see, my hair was pretty wet and then I started to add more products. So this mousse that I'm using here, it is not a firm hold mousse, it's a very soft hold mousse. I'm still not too sure how I feel about it. So yeah, I just put that on my hair with the moisturizer. So as you guys can see, my hair was taking a lot of wet products. Everything was just wetting up my hair, and if you have 4C hair, it will take some time for it to dry and then you're gonna have a lot of frizzing if it's not dried properly. So guys, avoid putting on too much product on your hair. That's gonna make your hair extremely wet on the rod, especially if you do not have a hooded dryer. So I left my hair to dry for several hours. I had these rods in for maybe 12 hours and then I checked it and it was not perfectly dry. I could feel it that it wasn't so perfectly dry, so I went in my blow dryer a little bit just to kind of help speed up the process before I started taking down the rods. And as you guys can see here, while I'm undoing the rods, you can see that my hair is not dry. I'm so disappointed right now. You know, it's like so late in the night because I had these in the entire day. 12 hours I had them in my hair and my curls are still not dry. Everything is just swelling up and my natural curls are just coming out. So that means the Flexi Rod curls are not able to shine or to show their full potential. So yeah, I'm a bit annoyed right now, but anyways, I went ahead still to try and detangle them and spruce them, and I can see that the curls would have been nice if they were able to properly dry. But yeah, I don't think I wanted to have any rod or anything in my hair for 12 hours and then still have to sleep in it overnight. So I undid them, tried to tease them as much as I could. I couldn't do too much teasing because yeah, they were already just too frizzy and too puffy. So this is the finished result after using the first method, and this is a method that you want to stay away from if you have 4C hair and if you will not be using a dryer. But I decided to show it to you guys still, just so you can see the difference, so you can see what the results are like. Maybe you're looking for a result like this, maybe you want it just a little bit more puffy, a little bit more frizzy, and maybe you want it to just last you for a day. Because yes, I will also insert a picture right here showing you guys what it looked like the next day. So now this is 2 days later. I went back to the drawing board, re-shampooed my hair, reconditioned my hair, and I blow dried my hair. You don't have to blow dry your hair. You can do whatever you normally do to keep your hair stretched. I normally put my hair in some big plaits, but I really didn't have so much time and I really wanted to start this hairstyle today, so I just went ahead and do the tension method to blow dry my hair. And now I'm starting out again with a smaller section than before, and I take a small amount of the moisturizer this time. This moisturizer is also very lightweight, so it more has a watery consistency. Not too much, but it has a slight watery consistency, so you don't want to put a lot of it on your hair at once because then it will make your hair too damp. So I'm taking just a small amount, as you guys can see, and I'm applying that to the section of my hair without wetting up the sections too much. And for the mousse now, this is very important that you take only this amount of mousse that I just spray on my fingertips. So I use less than a pump of mousse per section. This is very, very important. You do not want your hair to be extremely wet or to be soaked when you're putting this mousse on your hair. So if it feels like you're getting too wet, you need to make sure that you stop, take off some of the product off your hands, and just put enough to make it not completely dry before you apply it to your hair. So now I wrap it around the rod like you guys see. That is basic. You just wrap it around, keep it flat, nothing particular, nothing special, just wrap it around in a flat motion. And to seal it onto the rod, this step is also very, very important because a lot of people will tend to go in with more mousse or other products that are wet to put on the end so that it doesn't come off the rod. And for this step, I am using this trick, which is to apply some beeswax. So I just use a little bit of beeswax like you guys see here on my fingertips, and I just rub that around the ends of the hair that is on the Flexi Rod so that it stays in place and that it does not move, so it will be able to dry perfectly fine. Now I'm doing another section and showing you guys how I do one. And I applied some more of the moisturizer, and then I take this small section of mousse again, and then I just go ahead and I just wrap the hair around the Flexi Rod like this, keeping it flat and smooth the entire time. And now I'm taking again a small amount of beeswax and just sealing the ends to the Flexi Rod. And after that, I just bend the end of the Flexi Rod and secure it at the base of my hair as well. So now you just want to continue rodding up the rest of your hair just like this. So you just take each time, not so much of a big section, and then you take a little bit of the moisturizer so that the hair is not completely dry, but you don't want it to be too saturated, and then a small amount of the mousse to your fingertips, and you apply that also to your hair just to give it some lubrication, but without making it wet. So I'm showing you guys here how the hair is looking. It's not looking too wet. Then you just apply the rod to the base of your hair like I do it right here. I put it sort of like in the middle, and then I just start to wrap my hair onto one end of it and then seal it at the end with some beeswax. I'm just using a very tiny amount of beeswax and just applying that to the end of the hair. And this is what it's looking like so far at the back. And I'm just going to continue the same procedure until I'm finished rodding up my entire head. Now that I put all the rods in my hair, it's completely rotted, I'm just going ahead with my blow dryer and I'm gonna use it on warm heat for 15 minutes. So I'm only using it for about 15 minutes. I'm just rotating it from the back to the front to the middle for 15 minutes. And I'm also changing the heat temperature. So sometimes I'm using it on warm heat and sometimes I'm using it on cool heat. Just apply some direct air to the hair to help speed up the process. And it shouldn't take long because you do not have a lot of product on the hair and it's not completely wet. So I left these in for about 5 hours. And as you guys can see right now, I'm taking out the rods and it looks a lot drier than it did in the first set. And I could even feel it from before I started taking out the rods that they were dry, because when I touched them, I could see that some of them were starting to loose from the rod. And when you see them starting to loose from the rod, they're kind of shelling away from the rod. You can tell that the hair is dry because they start to kind of pull away from the rod naturally without you even touching them. And this is how the curl is looking so far, guys. Already I'm feeling quite pleased with the results, but I'm just gonna continue so you guys can see it for yourself. So I'm gonna go over the points again. So for the best Flexi Rod set on 40 natural hair, the first thing you want to pay attention to is not doing it on completely wet hair unless you're gonna be sitting under a hooded dryer for at least an hour or hour and a half. The next thing you want to do is to make sure you do not use too much product that will make the hair too weighed down or too sticky. Yeah guys, take a look at how it is looking. As you guys can see how defined the curls are. So yeah, I'm just going ahead right now. I'm adding some coconut oil to my fingers and just massaging that into my scalp, because yeah, my scalp felt a little bit tender after having these rods in. So yeah, I just went ahead and I applied that to my scalp, and then I use it also to separate the curls. So I use some oil on my finger to help separate the curls, and then I'm just twirling them around my fingers to help redefine the curls. And even though you want it to be very defined, stay away from too much mousse, especially if the mousse that you're going to be using is one like this. This one does not have a lot of hold. It doesn't matter if you use the entire bottle or you use a small amount. It doesn't have a lot of hold. It's a very soft hold mousse, so it will still feel like you didn't really put much on your hair. So I would suggest that you only use a tiny amount, like less than a pump, so about half a pump to each section of your hair if you're going to be using section size like mine. The next thing you want to pay attention to is not doing the sections too big. You don't want to do them too small, but you don't want to make the sections too big because it'll take longer to dry. And that will kind of lead you to put a lot more product on the hair per section, and then it takes a lot longer to dry. So medium-sized sections like these that I have here are perfect depending on the density of your hair and the length. But yeah, not too big. The bigger they are, you tend to get more volume, but you won't define curls first and foremost, so do not make them too big. So now this is how my curls came out. So this is how they're looking, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with how they came out. I was very disappointed about the first set, but I really wanted to share my results for both trials with you guys. If at first you don't succeed, guys, brush yourself off, try again. You know, it can be done. It just maybe needs a different method. Not every hair type is going to react the same to a particular method. That's why I thought it was important that I showed you guys the set on completely wet hair and the set on dry hair. So if you do not have a hooded dryer, or if you don't want to be using a lot of heat on your hair, I would recommend this method for the best Flexi Rod set on natural hair. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys found these tips helpful, and if you did, please be sure to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do so, and also hit that notification bell. That way you will not miss any of my weekly uploads. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.